A new Charlotte City Council sworn in this week. As they head into the new year, they'll be juggling a number of priorities.
Charlotte City Councilwoman Dimple Ajmera joins us now live. She was the top vote getter on council. Councilwoman, good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Ben.
Of course. As you head into 2026, what do you see as council's top priorities?
Definitely public safety. I want every family to feel safe regardless of their zip code. And I'm sure my colleagues are also feeling the same way. We got to address public safety head on.
And be more specific, what exactly does that mean?
So that means working collaboratively with our state legislatures. Ben, we recently had a meeting focused on public safety, a specific ask on what we need from our state legislatures to be successful in addressing crime in our communities. That means we got to make sure that our district attorney's office has enough resources to hold people accountable. That means that our judicial system has enough resources to hold people accountable. We also got to make sure that our defender's office has enough resources. So we are working with state legislatures to ensure that we are doing everything we can to keep our communities safe while collaborating with them. And we are doing our legislative agenda discussion at our retreat, but definitely that will be a number one priority.
Councilwoman, it's a pleasure to speak with you because crime is really kind of twofold when you think about it. There's the actual crime, the number of acts of violence that happen, but there's also the perception of crime. What one thinks of is the city of Charlotte safe. Let's talk about Arena's law. As you know, this went into effect on Monday. It cracks down on suspects who are arrested for violent crime. State lawmakers have passed the law. Now it pays for 10 new prosecutors and 5 legal assistants in Mecklenburg County. But city leaders say that's just not enough. How do you address that?
Absolutely. I think you nailed it. It's a drop in the ocean. We are still operating at 60 to 65% capacity when it comes to our district attorney's office. We should be at 100% capacity. We are growing at such a fast pace. And when we don't have enough resources to hold people accountable, the DA's office cannot hold people accountable without the resources. So that is the issue, but also we got to keep in mind that we need resources for our mental health support. With Arena's law, certainly it moves us in a direction where we hold people accountable, but if you don't have the resources to hold people accountable, it is not going to be sustainable. So we got to find sustainable solutions when it comes to prevention as well as holding people accountable.
We had we were short on time, but I want to ask you about the immigration raids we saw here a few weeks ago. I know you've been outspoken against them, but the city leaders like you, your hands are kind of tied about the whole thing. What are the ways the city is now looking forward to helping some of those immigrant communities as we go into the new year?
That's a great question, Ben. Well, as you know that when Border Patrol was in the city of Charlotte, it created fear and anxiety in immigrant communities. This is not about whether someone is documented or undocumented. This was creating anxiety and fear among all immigrants because there were U.S. citizens that were being profiled. They were being targeted. They were being questioned and detained without any due process. So the city of Charlotte, with limited tools that we rolled out a rental and utility assistance program for those that were impacted. There were businesses that were shut down. It was countering what we were doing with our corridors of opportunities in trying to support our small businesses. So one example is Albemarle and Central. Charlotte East is doing a great job providing support for our small businesses along the corridor through our corridors of opportunity funding that we have, but also we got to make sure that we stay in our lane. We do operate within the legal parameters that we have. So rental and utility assistance is one way that city has been supporting our immigrant communities.
All right, Charlotte City Councilwoman Dimple Ajmera. Councilwoman, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me.